in, clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, clock in, clock in, gone, clock in, clock in, clock in, gone, clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and out. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there. He be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, go defense, gone defense, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, clock in, clock in, gone, clock in, clock in, clock in, gone, clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, clock in, clock in, gone, clock in, clock in, clock in, gone, clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in. They say, defense.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods. Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My
you.
man West Coast in this boat.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. I don't know why my Instagram ain't coming up, but we're going to try to get it up in a minute. But what's up with you guys? It is your favorite Cowboys, West Coast and Boss Cowboy, and we are live in the building. Going to have ourselves a great show tonight, man. If you can hear me, let me know you can hear me in the comment box. We got a 95 Cowboy fans on here, 93 now. That means we had 2 haters, and they jumped off. Praise the Lord! We're going to have a hate-free show tonight. What's up with you, boss? How you doing, man?
Man, what's up, man? I'm actually feeling good. How you feeling, my brother?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. I like your jersey, man. You repping the Old Faithful, man. We played some good games.
Yeah, man. Eggman, you know I'm rocking that Eggman, man. And, you know, Eggman been talking real big this week. So I wanted to give him a special shout out by rocking 8. Because, you know, 8, a lot of people hate 8 because 8 is honest. They call 8 a what? Straight shooter. And a lot of people don't like that. But those are the type of guys you can trust because at least you know what's on their minds.
Well, I mean, do you know exactly what 8 said? If you want to elaborate, hey, this portion of the show is called Star Updates. Well, basically, what we're gonna do is just gonna go through everything that y'all done heard on social media, everything you done heard at your mama house, your auntie house, your cousin house, your your mechanic, because your mechanic got all the Cowboy news, all that stuff they've been talking about all day. We're gonna try to talk about all that stuff and give you guys some factual information. You know what I'm saying between the everything else. So we're going to start it off in the first thing. Boss, you remember exactly what he said?
Nah, I'll paraphrase it though and be real close to it. That basically he was saying, you know, a lot of us, and he was dead right on this. He said a lot of us are just kind of dead set on coaching and talking about coaching. You also were seeing a split in the debate where people were saying, are we actually good? Do we have the talent? Which was starting to go even more into a ridiculous lane because it's obvious we got the talent. And he said, you got to start actually with the top. When you look at the long time that we've been basically under Jeremy and Steven's leadership with only 3 playoff wins and multiple coaches and coaches of different caliber, obviously, right? You know, Wade went on a run. Then you had Parcells. Then you had Garrett, who was at one point a very good OC. Like a lot of people like to forget that. But he was highly demanded because of his success with Dallas. People forget that. Like actually with him as OC, was it ever a time where we wasn't top 10 West Coast?
Talking about Jason Garrett?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we was definitely slinging that we was slinging that ball like it was crack rack back in the 80s. Even back in the 80s,
my point is this to his point. He has a good point. Like same thing we say about players, right? You judge a coach by the group. You judge a player by the individual. Well, if Jason Garrett was good, then he gets under your leadership directly, and then he starts to kind of plummet. And then when Parcells obviously is a Super Bowl coach, and then he gets under your leadership and he struggles. And, you know, he raised a good point that, and I put that same point in my article where I said a season like this will hopefully cause Jerry and Steven to do better self-reflection because it's going to take a total inward look from the top down to really correct some of the problems that's holding us from 6.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like this example I always say this, man. I say this to myself more than anything. I love it when my kids do the wrong thing and it fails. Like it just blows up in their face. Blah! And then daddy got to come in with his cape and save the day. Why? Because when you do the wrong thing, it's not supposed to work out right. That's just not what it's supposed to be. Like when you tell a bunch of young guys who are all under the age of like 25 and they've been working their entire life to be millionaires and they're using football as their avenue to get there, and you tell them that, oh, we're going to talk about that at the exact same time you're supposed to be getting ready to go play football, and then you expect that for that to have no negative ramifications on your team. Like, I could see if this was the New England Patriots or not even just the Patriots, just an older team. Like a team, when I said the Patriots because they're older, even Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? An older team. But a Dallas Cowboy team where you pride yourself on being one of the younger teams in the NFL, well, you also got to understand what are the things that come with having youth. You know what I'm saying? I know something that comes with having youth is this. I try to explain to, the young parents that be around me that, sometimes when your kids is going to school in the morning, you really can't get on their head. Why? Because they got to go to school and learn. So sometimes in the morning, you might have to let them get a pass. And you just whoop that butt when they get home. Why? Because you got to know if your kid can handle, can they handle getting a stern, we don't call it arguments, but we call it intense fellowships. We don't argue in my house. We have intense fellowships. You know what I'm saying? I know my kids, my daughter, she can't handle that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, if my daughter ain't got her stuff done by 8, she's all thrown off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I digress to go back into football. Jerry Jones, being young and having a young team, you got to understand some of the negative things that come with coming with a young team. And I think he kind of went in here thinking that every player was like Ezekiel Elliott. What I mean by every player is like Ezekiel Elliott did something that most players don't do. I mean, that is hold out, come back, and be still a top 5 category type guy. Most guys who hold out don't do that.
No.
Most guys who hold out get hurt, to be honest with you. Just flat out being honest, Dez an example. You know what I'm saying?
Most people get hurt, you're right.
Most play, and I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not even saying that. Statistics say that. Yeah. Most players who hold out get hurt. Like, they don't finish the season.
I'm not mad at all with a top 5 performance and actually gaining on.
Clowney has already proved that.
People not even watching, but Zeke is low-key catching those guys, too. People not even watching. He's still, I doubt it based on the style of our offense now, but no, I'll take that all day. I want to add one more thing, too, about what Jerry said and then get your thoughts on it, man, because he said something.
After we talk about that, we're going to talk about what the hell Jason Garrett said.
Yeah, cool. So, just real quick. So, he said something today that's got a lot of people upset. And they saying that, basically he don't deal with middlemen. And I actually stand 1,000% with him on that.
Well, what did he say? You remember what he said or what?
He was basically saying, because people want him to hire a GM. That's what people want, right? And he was like, it don't really work like that. He like, why would I have a GM when I'm the ultimate sign-off anyway, right? I actually agree with him on that, 1,000%, because I've been in organizations to where you have multiple layers of management, and it's so hard to get common sense stuff done. Like when you cut out layers, that does help efficiency. That part he's right on. The only thing, though, is that doesn't mean that he needs to change, though. So it's like, and I'm starting to really see Jerry from this standpoint, that Jerry's the type that trusts himself because he's been right so much, right? For real. Like when you've been right so much and so much in your life and you done a self-made billionaire.
I don't know about right so much, but he's had some major rights. Put it like that.
Yes, major rights, yeah. And I would say
bunch of wrongs, like, that's how, we be wrong all day. And then you had that one and I'd be like, ooh, that was me.
But he definitely not even like, if I really judge him honestly or not in my feelings, right? To get in here, get rid of Tom Landry, get Jimmy Johnson. Like we all look at that he fired Jimmy, but also look at the fact that he hired Jimmy too, right? So he did a lot of stuff that's right. So when you kind of successful to his degree and number one in so many areas, you can develop a trust to where it becomes toxic. But the good thing about Jerry that I am seeing, if we all honest, he will start delegating when you show him you worked it. So there's no doubt that he's delegated personnel to Will and Steven. We all know he was the horse trader. We know that. But is he horse trading now? No. Which means that at some point he had to look at himself through failure, right? And say,
yeah. My boy Kerry said, Jerry made it.
This is
Gary,
even though this is a sad time and it feels bad to be 6-7. You actually rather be 6-7 with a path in than 10-3 where he think I don't gotta change at all.
I think I take 10-3. but before we switch to this next subject, my boy Kerry had a good point. He says Jerry made it clear he has the final say on everything down to the socks draws. So you think he doesn't make decisions on who suits up every week? That's bad. And to be honest with you, that's kind of the point that West Coast has been pushing here for a long time. That I know a lot of people have just been on the fire Jason Garrett bandwagon because it sounds like the easy thing to do. And I know that sometimes it's just easy to just do that because you have that onside feeling. But it's like I'm more of a guy where it's like I could care less about firing the coach. I'm more about fixing the problem on the fields. And there are some things on the field because we've had success before. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what I've also seen is a lot of the things that we did last year, we obviously didn't build on. You know what I'm saying? But to kind of switch to the next subject, man, because Jason, before we go into this this next thing that I wanted to kind of talk about for a little bit before we talk about these Rams. Jason Garrett had a very interesting press conference today, and he basically said that going forward that he basically said that people who will play the right way are going to be guys who are going to be playing from now going forward. And it's like, I don't know, man. When I hear people say stuff like play the right way, like I don't know how someone can play any way other than like good on a football field. And it's like, I mean, I don't know if obviously we'll see in this Rams game, maybe that means that a guy like Donovan Wilson is going to get an opportunity. Maybe that means a guy like a guy like Devin Smith is going to get an opportunity. Like outside of an injury, man, I don't see, and I like the Bryant kid, 83, but you would have to explain to me how he jumped over Devin Smith. Like why is Devin Smith roaming the sidelines? You know what I'm saying? And he's a guy that was here with you all preseason, I think he came in here like the third week of preseason. So I mean, not the third week of preseason. That was the third week, because he played in the first game, didn't he? I had to reset, but I mean, the point I'm making is, man, he's been here way longer than 83 been here. So it's like, how is it that you see what is the scale? Like if I'm a player coming into Dallas and I'm trying to find a clear path to get on this field and be able to play, what does that look like? Does it mean I got to go to practice and beat somebody out? Does that mean I need to go get some dirt on somebody and blackmail them? Like, what does that look like?
Do I need to kiss some rings? Do I need to do some rings?
Like, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about that. Like, you gotta be able to have that because you're gonna want to attract free agents. Like, it's foolish for us to think that we're just gonna be right every single time. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what you're doing when you don't spend in the free agency and you basically build your team through the draft. You're basically saying that you feel that you're better at picking someone who has never played versus looking at someone's talent. And I'm gonna tell you, that's scary to me.
Yeah, it is.
Because you got to think like this.
To act like it, you have to have an act of Congress to put your toe in that wall.
Exactly. Like how can you be really good at looking at assessing guys who have never played in the league, but you don't have any faith? Because the thing about it is like this: the Cowboys say, "Oh, we don't overpay for big time free agents," but it's like you don't really look like it would if Khalil Mack is available. Is he a big time free agent or is he one of the best defensive players in the NFL? And that's what he costs. Like it's like going to a Lamborghini. If you want a Lamborghini, so why not you got to pay the car note and the oil and all the things that come with it. It's not you going and saying, "Oh, this is an expensive car," but yeah, you came here to purchase it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I look at that same thing when I look at the Dallas Cowboys, where it's like, man, you are really, really needle-nosing yourself into literally like one place to find players when everybody else, like imagine if your college only recruited, imagine your favorite college that you rock for right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of USC, they're my boys, fight on, you know what I'm saying? How good would USC be if they only recruited on the West Coast? I'm not even going to say California. But if they did not go past the Colorado River. Bro, we get every receiver that's damn near been good in USC has come from New Jersey. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is. What that is, I don't know. I noticed that. New Jersey puts out some good damn receivers. And they always come to USC. But you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But the Dallas Cowboys would literally do that. We're like, imagine if the Dallas Cowboys said, we don't need to recruit in Texas. Or we don't need to recruit in Florida. That's what you say when you are not active in free agency. And I'm going to tell you what you're also saying. You're also saying that I can fix all my problems in the draft. And all the players I pick are going to be able to play now. And that is unheard of, man. On other teams, if you're a 5th round pick, Barry, you're still trying to make the team. In Dallas, can you play? Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I have an answer for that, but I want to go back to what you said about Jason Garrett and some of the signals that's kind of been sent out. That's good. Like, we got a lot of good that's going on right now, and we got to kind of get out of this 6 and 7 we suck mode and kind of start looking at some of the glass half full type of stuff because it's good. Like Jeffries is out now.
What's up, Dallas Kingler? I see you. Columbus.
Lane Johnson is out, right? So that's good. And then also this, when you say the guys that's right now having to play the right way, Dallas is making changes right before we make this last 3-game run. Like, remember, we made mid-season changes last year. Like, when I back against the wall, that's when we get humble, right? Yeah. We was real cocky about receiver by committee for 8 games. Chance out. Oh, we don't need a number one. What do you mean?
We was real cocky. Let's talk about something this year. We was real cocky about saying, we don't need Thornhill because we have, and I'm not putting this on Tristan because Tristan can only be who he is. Just
Tristan like doing his thing too.
Exactly, he's finally doing his thing. But just like Jeff Heath can only be Jeff Heath, you can't get mad at Jeff Heath because he's not Jamal Adams. But what I'm saying is, when they said we don't need to draft a big name safety because what we're gonna do is gonna work. Like, you basically just put what you're going to do. Tell me a defensive tackle in the last 10 years who's gotten drafted outside of the top 10 who's come in and been effective in their first year. Do you know who you're going against at the defensive tackle? Like, think about this. Every team in the NFL has somebody bad on their team. But most teams, probably 28 of them, have halfway decent guards and centers. You want to know why? Because if you don't, your quarterback is going to be trash. Why? Because he's going to be on the ground. You're playing against pros.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get a night off at the guard, tackle, center position. Yeah. Like, you're playing against pros.
So it's going back to this. We said this all offseason. Write this down. Because it's going to happen next offseason, not just to us, to a lot of teams. Offseason is the time for crazy, prideful, hope, and optimism. The season is the time when reality hits you in your face. And what you got to do is you got to remember the lessons from the reality and not get caught up in the optimism. And that's what's happening right now. So same thing happened with receiver by committee, right? Exact same thing happened.
Willie said the same thing about wide receivers. We started getting the brakes beat off our blank.
Exactly. So the same thing happened. We don't need a kicker. Everybody was saying, like my boy Jaquez just said, I've been saying all season Mayor needed competition. Yes, you have. So have we. Everybody been saying Mayor need competition. But guess what?
And that's the crazy thing about. Think about this. How the Dallas Cowboys basically say, like, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was an employee of the Dallas Cowboys, I ain't gonna lie, I would love this, because I'm like, I missed 10 kicks and I'm still got a job. Like, no, I'm out kissing babies. What up, baby?
I'm safe.
I'm like, bruh, like, this is a safe haven for bad employees.
They like you, but see, light get real thin. Light get real thin when your season on the line. When we was 3 and 5. All that who we like and we like hers.
Yeah. And then West Coast dropped that video about dropping you, and Jerry was like, I can't do it no more. If West Coast was dropping videos on kickers, he's gone.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Let's look at it a little bit half full. Because there's 1,000 and a million Cowboy fans that's ready to be on some. I told you we was going to.
Oh, they ready to bang. They ready to riot.
I mean, they ready to shoot the people that got a little bit of hope.
I know.
You know?
Somebody told me I was a fake fan for riding still. Like,
and that's true. It's true story.
I said, what?
Fans that sitting out here like, we need to go ahead and tank. I'm like, bro, no. Listen, y'all. Let me say this. I put this on my page. Go to my page, check it out on the Boss Cowboy Sports. Read it about 10 times.
Go ahead.
Until it get in your spirit. Until it get in your soul. Okay? Your spirit. It's 2 goals during the season. Get in the tournament and to win the tournament. Those are your goals. We are still achievable at goal 1. So it's not about who got the sexiest record, because that's what all our feelings is based on right now. 6 and 7 is based on, that old optimism again.
Yeah, and also when you're 6
about,
and 7, you can't walk into your. I know, I get it, man.
I know. It's thousands of haters out here. We know.
I know.
Yeah, we know. But listen, man, and I was in a debate. This gonna help some of y'all. I was in a debate with some Texans, and they was, oh, y'all 6 and 7, y'all can't beat 50 teams. I said, listen, y'all not thinking. It's literally no brain cells in your head. You getting ready to go against the Titans twice, and they basically won 5 games straight. They harder than y'all. We basically in a better position than y'all. Y'all stuck on records and stuff that mean nothing. We focused on getting in the tournament. Y'all mess around and not even get in the tournament while you over here focused on a record. And also focus on this. We're healthy. So I'm not saying we don't have bad coaching. We do. I'm not saying special teams wasn't last. It was. I'm not saying we're not number 1 in tackles missed. We are. I'm not saying that we're not number 1 in drops. We are. But I'm saying this. I sure like it when Jerry Jones is getting kicked off the radio for cussing.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I said something the other day, and I don't blow myself away sometimes, but this time I think I blew myself away when I said this, because I know it was the Holy Spirit speaking through me. And It's like this, man. Every other team is trying to play outside of who they are. They're trying to improve who they are, right? The Dallas Cowboys, we just want to get back to who we are. Because if we get back to who we are, we're better than almost all those teams.
Right.
Where all these, like the Patriots are playing the best football they possibly can right now, and they're trying to get better. Why? Because their offense is still not good. The Dallas Cowboys, you know what we trying to do? We just trying to get back to playing Dallas Cowboy football.
Yep, we just trying to get back.
If you think about this, Boss Cowboy, think about this. Oh my God, you said an amazing point right now. We're not 6 and 7 because of a major injury. We're not 6 and 7 because of a suspension. We have all our starters in place on offense and defense. Think of this, and that's why it's like. To me, I can still, and after this, we're going to go into the salary cap, and then we're going to talk about these Rams. But I'm going to let you talk, let's say one more time. But for me, it's easy for me to continue to ride because of what you just said. Like, you just explained to me why I haven't given up. And I didn't, like, I'm just keeping it real, like, you, and what you did is you vocalized it for me. I appreciate you. Because you're absolutely right, bruh. Like,
it's goals. If we get focused on what the record is, and we didn't beat no 50 teams over 50, look, we beat them before. So don't act like this been the standards for 4 years. We went to the Steelers' house and beat them in their house. We've done that. You know what I mean? We've had big wins under this team. So everybody that keep putting this propaganda like we're just born to lose, no, that's just not true. If you just stop and focus on what is the primary goal of every season, not to have the best record in 16, is to get in the tournament. And then once you get in the tournament, try to win you 4 in a row. Yeah. That's what they want. And at least if we win the division, guess what? One of them gonna be at the house. The rest of them gonna be dog fights.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, we done been against odds before, and we need to kind of now start kind of getting back into at least a partial optimism, right? Because yes, we do have problems, but I just don't see this team this talented, even with bad leadership, just saying, But damn it, we here now. You know what I mean? If we actually get in the playoffs, I see kind of us saying, you know what? It's time to kind of really squash everything because we got a shot. Because look, I still see my boy Lewis out there, John still, Rose still out there, Lee here. We still got Queen. I'm seeing some balls on this squad. And hey, let's go stop playing. Let's go stop playing. Let's turn around to the offense. I see Fred just sitting up front. Zach. I see a good guard. We got both our tackles. We got all our receivers. We got even an extra one that we ain't even activated that can come in and ball.
Yeah.
So it's like, nah, this ain't yeah. And I'm not saying we gonna win, but I'm saying I'm not gonna also get so dug down in that Debbie Downer dumb stuff when Jeffries just got hurt and Lane Johnson hurt. And the Redskins struggling, and we just got to win 2 out of the next 3.
I'm telling you this right now. If Eagles go to Washington and they lose that game, Carson Wentz will not even be starting in our game. You want to know why? Because it will make no sense for them to. Yeah, and every single time he walks onto the field, he does this. And I said, oh, there you go. He getting ready. They setting it up. They about to hit us. Breaking news. Carson Wentz goes down with a torn fibula of the meniscus thigh board cerebellum. He's going to be out 6 weeks.
Yep.
No, they're not going to say he's out for the season. They're going to say he's going to be out 6 weeks. So basically, you gave him life and a day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I see happening. Because to be honest with you, like, once their playoff contention, and I could care less who the quarterback is because the Dallas Cowboys have showed you that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. But I'm just speaking as far as business wise. If you're not in playoff contention, why is your $35 million asset out there running around getting hit against divisional opponents? That makes no sense. And he's never finished the season. It makes more sense to put him down and get him ready for the next season.
Right, with just one loss. And then
that makes no sense. That would make no sense. Because if he gets hurt in that game, ooh.
And I think it moves them from around 19, if they get in, to like 14 or 10.
And hey, can I say something, boss? This is something else we got to remember this too. This season is going to cost us. So we need to go big. You want to know why?
Yeah, the draft. If we get in, we're going to go from 19.
And we're going to go this way in the draft. We're going to go to like 19, 20, like you're saying, 21, 22, while the Eagles, Philadelphia, and the Giants are all going that way.
What, 10 and 5?
They're going to have 10, 8, at 5. One of them might even have a 5.
Right. Yeah, so you got to go
so
all in.
There's going to be some impact players coming into the East because of this season.
Tank better not be in our mind right now, like at all. Like if you go give up 8 positions, boy, that's why it's actually good news what we're hearing right now. Like remember what me and you said against
Philly
the
need a wide receiver too. Philly's gonna go in they're gonna go all in and try to get
a best player on whoever's sitting there between.
Have a lot of needs. We could have a whole show about that.
Receiver. We can do a whole show on them. Yeah, they got corner and receiver needs epically right now. They gonna take the best of what's available right there.
There's no reason they shouldn't have went after Jalen Ramsey. None. But then they wouldn't have got the first pick. I don't know. But hey, some other news dropped out today too, and I think we're really big on the finances on this show, simply because that's pretty much the whole reason why these guys do this. I know a lot of you guys like to think, oh my God, they're out there for the love of the game and they're blah blah. Stop it. I know you love your job, but I'm gonna tell you, how many days of work would you work if they told you they weren't gonna pay you no more? All right. Boom. So don't be holding these. They're for the love of the game. Yeah, right. They play for the love of the game in high school. You don't need to play for free. Like, can I, 2 seconds? 2 seconds, please. You don't even pay for plea in college. Like, I know they're saying that these college kids need to get some funds, and I'm not saying they shouldn't. And me and Boss had a crazy conversation about this because I feel kind of weird about it. But, man, Boss, did you not get a per diem when you was in college? I did.
Yeah.
Okay. So even when you in college, you getting like $800. You know what I'm saying? So we need to stop this. And that's yes, college kids right now, if you're in a major program playing football, All them kids on Alabama, they probably get about $1,200 a month deposited on their little card.
Yeah, they get a check.
They get a check. So technically, they're already getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all those thoughts about players, football players, if you're in the NFL, you haven't played for free since high school. And if you go to one of these big high schools, you probably was paying there because there's some stuff happening in my city right now. People going to jail. Oh, some high school football is crazy. But I digress. The salary cap is probably going up to 21. They said it was probably between 94 and 21 and 194 million and 201. But I'm thinking like, why would they just do? If they come out and say it's only gonna be like 97, people are gonna be pissed. So I would assume it's probably gonna be about 200 million bucks. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's at 188. So you're looking at a bump of about $12 million that you're able to spend an additional. Now, we had already told you guys the Dallas Cowboys, because we cheap, we don't like paying folks. We going to have $87 million anyway. So we basically going to have like a cool $1 million. Well, I mean, a cool $100 million in cap space available while everybody believes the hype that we don't have money to sign our players. Now, we promised that we weren't going to talk about this subject long because y'all know we love talking about money and we'll talk about that forever. But we're going to talk about it just for like a couple minutes and we're going to go right into these Rams and we're going to let y'all go. Boss, I know you got some thoughts on this, so I'm going to let you go first. What are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, man, it's like we've been on this, though. We've been saying this for like 2 months. We've been saying this. This is one of the main points we was bringing up when we were saying Dak, that they had the money to pay Dak and Cooper with no problem.
Wait, time out. So this whole time when they were saying that Dak had to take lower money so that he could keep the other players, did Steven know that this was going to go up this whole time?
This whole time he knew that.
So basically he was lying to us.
The whole time. And then it's two West Coast. This is the worst part.
He wasn't lying. He just didn't tell the middle part of the story. He told the front and the back. He just didn't tell the middle. Go ahead.
The worst part was that it's always been public too. And we've been always telling people where to go check. We've been telling people what the number was going to be, 94 million. Another thing that we've been saying is that the cap, this is really no surprise, goes up on average 10 million every year.
Every single year. Every single year.
Even coming out, you could have just projected that it was going to be a minimum of 198 to 200. From that, you can just do your basic rollovers and you'll see that it's going to be around 94 million. We've been saying that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things to where it's really not too much to talk about if you've been really on this show a lot, because we've been saying that. So now the evidence is starting to be pushed out in social media, though. But we always been telling people, hey, man, go check for yourself. They got the money to pay Dak and Cooper and have still way more cap space than they had in the last 4 years combined after paying them. And then people that's saying tag Dak or tag Cooper.
Why? Why? This just proves that you have if you didn't have the money then, you got the money now.
Yeah.
So why, after this tweet come out, there should be no conversation about tagging him because you have the money.
You have the money. And this is another reason why the tag is so bad. When you tag a player, that whole amount goes against the cap.
The whole amount.
So if you saying tag Dak at 33, right? You gonna subtract 33 flat from that 94.
So that's going at 70 something.
Contract, you can finance it where you can basically push the money out to where you don't even feel it in 2020. You'll feel it in your later years. That's when you'll see it hit your books. You can finance it. So it's like we are talking against the interests of our own selves. And we shouldn't do that. It should be like all of us that have been paying attention should know that it's best for all parties to pay Dak and Cooper now.
Yep.
It's best for the Cowboys. It's best for morale going into the.
Hey, Boston, think about this. Think about this. In your books, really? Like, can I ask you a question? Like, imagine if I told you you have $100, right? And then you got $97, right? And you got a bill, and that bill is $30, right? So you're thinking, damn, after I pay this bill, I'm only gonna have $67, man. How I'm gonna go out next week? God dang, man. And then you walking down the street, and you find $12. You like, dang! Hey, I'm about to put this 12 to that 30. Now that 30 is really only 18. Oh, we on weed more than top ramen tonight. You see how that works? That's how Jerry should be thinking. Jerry should be thinking, oh, snaps, now that I know, hell yeah, I signed him. Why? Because you know what? You know that 35 in my pocket? Now it's really only going to feel like 23. Jerry, you won. Congratulations. It's like you gave Zeke $90 million in one day, and then the exact same day you made the money back. God dang it, Jerry, you won. Just don't make it so obvious, because that's petty. You do that, you at the stock exchange doing this. That's petty, Jerry. You shouldn't have did that. You should have been there for that boy. Sign his thing. What, you was there for Jalen Smith's? Why you weren't there for Zeke's? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm talking about, boss.
Hey, yeah, man.
Some of this stuff is getting ridiculous.
Hey, man, but it's a good feeling, though. I ain't gonna lie. Because it's a good feeling to know we've been telling the truth all this time, bro. And people have been treating us like we was liars.
Hey, my boy Jamez, I just pinned his comment. He say, hey, man, stop drinking the Stephen Jones Kool-Aid. He said all this information is public. Like, you can Google all this information. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, all this information that they're giving you is public. You can go read it anywhere you want to.
Whenever they say they don't have the money to pay, just go check. Go check. Go Sport Track. That's where I go. Or you can just Google it.
Women, you know when your man be like, baby, I ain't got the money. What y'all do?
Go to his account.
Let me go to this Chase real quick. Oh, he think I ain't got his pen. I got his fingerprint on this paper.
Right.
I got his eyeball saved in his phone. Look at him, got his phone over. Oh no, you got the money.
So,
you got the money. So then what would your girl say if you said, I got the money, but you don't want to spend it? Then what does that? How does that then make her feel? What does that make? How does that make? It's her birthday. She didn't earn this. She want this. You got the money to spend it. You say, you don't want it. What? I mean, it's not a materialistic thing, but isn't it about appreciation at some point?
It should be.
That's what Roy Williams said.
See, I just want to say one more thing too, man, on what Steven is doing. This is not about the best interest of the Cowboys, like they trying to front and act like this is about the best interest. Because what they saying basically is we don't want to pay Cooper and Dak because it's going to damage the team. That's what they saying in a nutshell. Us paying them is going to handicap us from being able to build around them. That's what they keep saying. That's why they trying to push them and try to get market-friendly deals. But I'm telling y'all, that's a lie. Because first of all, you got to look at how we build. We already started the show saying that we don't build through free agency. So where you gonna feel to spend the extra cash?
Hey, I wanna. There's a comment There's a comment that I wanna address because I know it's an improper way of thinking. Blake, I appreciate you for being strong, being courageous enough to post this, because this is a way that people think out there, and this is a way it's absolutely wrong. Break says $87 million in the cap next year. That will only, with 38 players on the roster, give Dak 35 and Coop 20, and you only have $32 million left to sign 32 players. That's absolutely false. To be honest with you, that's what will happen if you sign them on one-year deals. Because remember, if you tag them, that money immediately comes out of your cap because you're giving that to them. That's a guaranteed $32 million. They get that. Boom. That's their money. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
When you put them on a contract, you know what you do? You give Dak Prescott a $40 million signing bonus today that don't count against your cap.
Right.
Guess what? Dak is not going to. And then you know what you do? You say, Dak, I'm going to give you $40 million today as a signing bonus, and then I'm going to pay you $2 million this season for football.
So guess what? The cap don't even feel it.
So then guess what? Dak gets $42 million in his pocket. Now, does he actually get $40 million for playing? No. He actually gets it as a signing bonus. But see, the thing about dollar bills is, there's no difference. You can't tell they don't know the difference. It's not like orange. It's not orange money, green money. It's just all the same. So as long as Dak gets about 40 in his pocket, he doesn't care what the title is called. So guess what? If you give Dak, I would think his number would probably be like $4 or $5 million. It would only be like $5 million coming off the cap. So you'd go from 87 to 82. That's a big difference.
That's a big
But
difference.
if you franchise tag him, Blake, what you said is exactly what's going to happen. That's why I said franchise tagging makes no sense.
Exactly. It makes
you don't have the money for that.
So, like in other places and other shows, you ain't gonna hear people. I'm not saying like everybody don't say it right. But I'm just saying, like, if you go to the mainstream media, they're not gonna talk like this. They're not gonna tell you the truth on this stuff because it's most of the people that's really talking on the mainstream media know it's all about generating our emotions. So they go talk about stuff like, do we need to cut Jason Garrett? And does Jerry Jones have too much power? Okay, like that's true. But at the same time, like when we get into the nitty gritty of real detailed stuff, you're not gonna really get that from most people, and we telling y'all right. And they validated it to us today. Well, we've been saying for months, we've been saying the number was 94 million. Literally. Because I started at 87, but after the Quinn contract, it got upgraded to 94, and West Coast corrected me right after the Quinn trade, which was about 4 weeks ago. And he said, "No, boss, it was 87."
4 weeks, about 2 months, 3 months ago.
Yeah, but he said it's now because they took off his third year. I was like, "You right," you know what I mean? And it was now 94. It's been a $94 million projection for a while. So, but the biggest thing that West Coast said is the fact that the tag makes zero sense, and that we got to really come to the realization that our front office been lying to us. Like whenever they say this in the public, we want Dak to take a pay cut and Cooper to take a pay cut so that we can help the team. That's a lie, because you got the money to sign everybody twice. You can sign and you can go look this up yourself.
Yeah,
go look up how much cap we've been having at the end of these yearly budgets. We literally have more cap space next year.
Yeah,
with most of our prime players signed. Now I said prime players. Yeah. Obviously, we got a lot of the.
And we only have, and I'm looking at your comment, man, just to put out some facts. We only have, I don't know where you're getting 38 players, brother, because we only have 37. We have 27 players right now on 1-year deals. So those would only be the players that you would be stressed to play. And I'm going to be honest with you, brother, everybody's not going to stay. That's just life. Like all these players we don't want to sign. So it's like, I just can't put a blanket statement out there and say, I got all these players to sign. No, I got some really good ones that I have to sign. Then I got some dudes that better take what I give them, or it's so hard to say goodbye.
Explaining that a little bit.
Yeah, like it's some dudes that's not gonna get paid. Like Byron Jones is not getting paid. Like,
and then like even me on the high side, you can keep going lower than that. Like I'm not stressing over no players that's
Cooper
not
Rush needs to get paid. Like, come on, how are you really staying up late at night trying to decide if you're gonna sign Cooper? And then my thing is this: if you put Dak in this hand, how many players would you have to say if it was like a to balance it out? How many players would you have to put if you put Dak right here, right? Boom, the scale's gonna go down like this, boom, right?
Yeah.
How many players would you have to put in this hand to make this hand go up so that it equals up to what the hell Dak is worth?
About 40, 50.
Because if you put Byron Jones in that, say I put Byron Jones, I'm gonna just pretend my hand is still down here. I put Byron Jones, it's gonna go boop. Why? Because he ain't getting what he wants. Byron Jones makes $9 million now. So that's how I know he ain't coming back. So it's not going down. You're going to have to put damn near the whole team in there. Some of these dudes ain't coming back. And I'm going to keep it real. Some of these dudes shouldn't come back. Why? Because there's better talent out there. And if some of these dudes don't come back, how do you draft players? So you got to let some of these guys go. Why? Because you got 7 draft picks in the next draft. So that's 7 spots you got to have. So some of these dudes is not coming back. And that is the business. What Nipsey Hussle say? It's a long road and everybody can't go. That's just what it is. Some of the homies got to stay at home. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Everybody's not going to be able to make this trip.
Let me say one more thing about this, man. Some people, like Scrooge McDuck, it's not about the money. It's really at some point you just like to see it grow. It's like a game to you. It's like Renell has the best comment that I've probably read in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, Renell, old country. What the hell Renell talking about?
Man, I'm finna read this.
I went to a game. Me and Rel went to a game. That's blood right there. That's Cowboy blood. We bleed blue together. If you go to a game, we didn't ride together at a game together. We bleed blue. That's the homie. And he got me a towel that I be sweating out. That's my game towel.
I met Renell too, man. Real cool dude. But check
I heard
this
he
out.
cook though. He ain't gonna bring me no plate though. I can dig it. I thought everybody loved
I met him at the Cowboy packages. Huh? I met him at the Cowboy packages. He came through, you know. Just hollered at you, hollered at me, real cool.
Yeah, solid dude.
Yeah, and also that's gonna be available this week on the Cowboy packages. But anyway, he said basically too worried about being fiscally sound versus physically sound. Facts. And let me explain what he's saying. Stephen Jones, especially, he's always been, since he's been young, all about trying to win the budget wars. And he is so concerned about being the winner of a budget war that he loses track. And this is historically true about him, that the real war is on that green grass. It happened with Dion. It's happening with Dak and Cooper right now, all because of what Renil just said, is that Stephen Jones is trying to win that budget contest instead of trying to win that green grass physical contest. Because imagine, the value of Dion was the easiest signing in our franchise history. That's the easiest one. We had no cap. We had him motivated to get out of San Fran. We was getting ready to go against San Fran. We knew, again, to get to the bowl, we was taking one of their best players that hurt one of our best players, adding it to our team and adding epic special teams, and you selling endorsements, you building a brand. It was win, 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 win. You know who was against it? Steven. Yeah. And I'm saying that to say this, man, that's absolutely true, because what he's saying is we want to give Dak and Cooper pay cuts, and then in the offseason, guess what he go then say? What he says every year, we don't spend in free agency. Why would we go after big names? So you want to save money to not even spend the money. Yeah. So the next time McDonough Sue sitting there, he ain't going to want them. Next time Snack sitting there, he not going to want them. The next time Odell Beckham sitting there, he not going to want them. Even with $94 million sitting in the bank. With $94 million, he going to still say I want them, but yet he want his guys to take a pay cut for money he don't want to spend. He just what Renil said. He want to be fiscally sound, and he not even worried about the physical product on the field.
Everybody keeps saying. Also, like Jameis had a good comment, then he had a kind of weird one because he says, "I give Steven credit for getting us out of cap hell." Man, he didn't get us out of cap hell. Shoot, the salary cap itself got us out of cap hell because it goes up every month. I mean, every year.
No, I give him his credit.
We made some good decisions, but it's like when they're adding. And think about this. They're adding $12 to $15 million every year, so it almost allows you to make a mistake on one player. You just can't overpay on two. Yeah. Like, you can make it. With your cap going up every year, you can almost take a chance on a player every year.
You could.
Because the cap going up is going to erase what you spent.
Yeah, but see, what we've been doing, West Coast, is we've been taking that chance on
taking advantage of the cap, actually.
Yeah, but we've been paying our own. That's where we've been spending our money. So we've been spending that million or 10 million that's been going up, but it usually been on our own. Yeah. But now being such a surplus, it's like, okay, now this is maybe one of those times you want to go and go get you an Odell Beckham to put us over the top, or you want to go get us a Sue. Yeah. What we did is we had the money to go get Sue, but we said we'd rather take Tristan Hill because he's going to be cheaper. Yeah. But see, Tristan Hill going to take about 3 years to develop. Sue would have fixed everything now.
Yeah. Speaking of Sue, man, the last time we saw Sue, he was playing with them Los Angeles Rams, man. I want to kind of get on I want to try to jump on them Rams for a little bit. We didn't already about to hit an hour in a little bit, so I want to jump on them Rams for a little bit to kind of talk about, because, man, to be honest with you, all this, these politics and things aside, at the end of the day, man, these boys are going to go out there and play some ball. And I'm definitely hoping that if we could just get in this tournament, man, I definitely believe we got the right leader on the field, man. If we have the worst leadership off the field, God blessed us, because we got some of the best leadership on the field as possible. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I know we all watched that Rams versus Seattle game, and I think that was a good game to watch. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think you had to kind of pull it back a little bit, because I think the Rams, that Seattle game was kind of like their Jacksonville Jaguar game, where everything is just everything is just a clicking games. You know what I'm saying? Because if I go back one game behind that, I see improvement, but I don't see that improvement. You know what I'm saying? It almost like the Dallas Cowboys are a totally different team when we play our divisional team. Like, we are a totally different team when we play the division, the East. That's why we're 4-0 in the 4-0 in the division. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about playing those division foes. You know them. The film that you use on them is typically pretty good. Why? Because you played them so much. You know what I'm saying? So, I look at it and I definitely think this is a beatable team. But like I said yesterday on my show, the number one thing that sticks out to me is, man, our secondary, Chidobe Awuzie, Byron Jones, and I ain't gonna say Jordan Lewis, because Jordan Lewis, I just need Jordan Lewis to be himself. But whoever they decide to put in that fourth corner, man, they're gonna have to have one of the better games of the season this week. And that's real. Because even if this quarterback don't see him, because he do miss, every quarterback miss, and these wide receivers get open, bro. They get open. I thought it was more about Sean McVay and him just flat out just being a guru and he's playing chess. No, he's not. That dude's running straight 4 wide, and these dudes are getting open. But I'll tell you one thing they do really good. Pre-snap. They are really good at pre-snap finding the matchup. Where most teams are finding the matchup after they say hike and they trying to get a wide receiver on the linebacker, since they are 3 wide so much, there's always damn near some matchup issue. And Goff is good at finding it. You know what I'm saying? But my take on everything I saw about this team, man, y'all know what the Dallas Cowboys offense got to do. We got to score some points. But that's the one thing that comes to my mind that kind of like makes me a little bit more nervous than other games, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. And you first told me about their wide receiving core, then I went and looked at it, and I was like, oh my God. Like, they have space eaters, man.
Yeah. I've been said their receivers was better than our core. And I always said that. Because if you really look at it, especially if you look at the receivers on next-gen stats, because what I really look at is I look at your separation ability, and next-gen stats measure that per receiver. And all you got to go do is go look at Cooper when he came over from the Raiders. His average separation was 2.7. As a unit, we was 2.2. And we had 2 receivers that was 1.6. That's why it was super hard for Dak to throw in the first 8 games of 2017. So, that was 2018. So, but all of their receivers going to average 2.7 or above, which means this: they have about 2.7 yards of separation on every Goff throw.
Jesus. That means Goff ain't got to be a good quarterback. All he got to do is have good eyes. Goff, all he has to do is have good vision. If he has good vision, he's going to be great.
Be close to perfect at all. They go give you the space to get the ball in there. So it's going to be a test of our secondary, a major test of our secondary. And they do real smart stuff to kind of give their smaller receivers room. They bunch them up. They don't spread them out. Well, basically, if you spread them out, then that's when we can press you in your face and kind of disrupt your timing. Now, when you bunch them up, then that means the second we got to back off because we don't know how y'all go kind of unload that route tree, right? And if you unload that route tree and we out of position, then they will come open through scheme. So they do all kind of stuff to even help their already talented receivers. Another thing that you'll see when you watch the Rams is the Rams and Gurley is healthy. They just use Gurley without ego. See, a lot of us, we want Zeke to rush a lot because we just think he's valuable if he's the rushing champ. They like, no, Gurley is valuable just because he's on our team, and when we need Gurley, we go to Gurley. So if you go look at the attempts on Gurley and the attempts on Zeke, they always exponentially different. But if you look at the average per yard, they're about the same. So they go with an offense that they say is just more efficient versus sometimes we get stuck in that identity crisis. So the Rams is exponentially dangerous and very well coached. The coach has moxie, he has passion. They still trying to fight to get into a wild card. They're hungry. They have a vision to try to win now. They trying to get a couple teams to have some bad luck. So we running up on a hot team right now that's well coached. So versus when I look at us and then look at how we played on Chicago, my biggest thing with Chicago, bro, I heard somebody say on the thread, my boy BJ, that it was our defensive scheme. I honestly think it was more so our defensive effort. Yeah. I'm exponentially going to say it was the effort over the scheme because, like, when you...
Xavier Woods, oh, my God.
When you got your safety missing 7 tackles and tackles, and a lot of them
was just so bad, bro. Like, it was just so bad. The touchdown was just so bad. Like, it was just so bad.
Go ahead and finish it. No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and finish, bro. I can tell you got your emotions right there. Because I can tell West Coast been watching film. You cannot watch the film and put your eyes on Woods and not want to bench him, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm gonna tell you this, right? It's I'm gonna tell you how bad Woods played. I got folks in my comment box asking me, any update on Jeff Heath? I thought y'all hated him.
Hey, that Woods was bad, man.
Horrible, bro.
This is the thing, bro. Like some people say, don't be the I told you so. Nah, I'm gonna be the I told you so. Because we've been saying that also all season. That our concern with him was what? Tackling, bro.
And angles, bro. Like the same problem he had last year. Ty Gurley. I tried to put the film away. Ty Gurley, then Hopkins. Like, bro, I know 2 play. I'm not gonna say Xavier Woods cost us the game because a game never comes down to 1 play. But I'm gonna say this: those games came down to those plays, and that dude messed it up. Like his angle. And then I'm gonna tell you something else. Even when he does make the play, you still have the thought of he's just not as big as the guy that's running the ball, and that happened this year too.
Man, say it a little bit realer than that, man. He getting trucked.
Like where he literally, even when he gets there, bow, he gets carried into the end zone.
You can start breathing, said it the best. You said it like you from my hood, my brother. He was scared.
Yeah, and then, boss, this is my thing, right? If you're going to be like Xavier Woods where you take bad angles, you got to at least be strong. So when you get there, like that's one thing about Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath ain't the most athletic, but when he's there, oh yeah, he there.
Oh, no, he there.
He there. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And on the cool, you ask some of these players who's one of the fastest people on this team, and they'll tell you, now Jeff Heath is not the fastest, but the white boy can move.
Yeah.
That's why he was able to get from that side of the field to that side of the field.
Yeah,
to stop Carr from scoring.
You can question Heath angles. You can question that he's clumsy, but you cannot question his hustle. That's
and
one
his
thing.
Strength, bruh. And his strength.
And what Woods was doing was disappointing, bro. Like straight up.
High school,
it was straight up.
High school, you be bent. You got beat up after. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now.
It is, bro. Yeah, in my school too.
Thank you, boss. Speak on that at Carter. What would have happened when you would have went in that locker room?
You're not doing no arm tackles where you showing you scared, and we're not gonna handle up on you ourselves.
Yes.
We would have lobbied him out, bro. We would have lobbied him out. It wouldn't have took a coach. We would have been over here like, he's sorry, coach.
He got to come out, coach. He got to go. Your defensive captain would have came to you and been like, yo, he got to come out.
Yeah, we would have did it. We'd have been like, bro, he's sorry. He missed 6 tackles. He can play. Put him in. And it would have been just like that. Wilson needs to play.
Yeah. Like, Jalen should have walked right up to the defense coach like, yo, he needs to come out.
Yeah, and see, that's the problem with sometimes the Dallas Cowboys. We be having favorites. And so we be riding for them, even when they showing that they don't belong on the field. It's a whole lot of people that's mad at me because I've been riding with Jordan Lewis over Anthony Brown. Y'all should have been riding with me too. And we've been saying this for the longest. Y'all putting a lot of attention on me. Woods also played bad last year, and it played especially bad the last Rams game.
So technically he's not playing bad. He's just doing what he did last year.
Facts. And actually worse. So he regressed from a bad year. Straight up. And the only thing we gave him credit for is we said he's good when he hits you when they don't see you.
Yeah.
We said that, bro. So this is one of those things to where, yeah, I hate that I'm right, but I want to. I want
he was
Joe.
right about Xavier Woods. I even saw Big James put a post out. He said, "Hey, I was okay." Now he said it too. I forget what he said, but he said something to the fact that basically saying like I was wrong on Xavier Woods. Like and Big James was a big Xavier Woods guy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know we got love for Big James over here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just speaking facts. And I love the fact that he kept it 100 because a lot of times bloggers don't do that. We'll just put a bunch of stuff out there, and then when it's wrong, we won't come back and be like, "Hey, my bad." At least he had nothing to do it.
Yeah, that showed that he got real love for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and it shows that it's more about the truth. He's like us. He's more about the truth than it is being right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I can respect that. You know what I'm saying?
All of us gonna be wrong. Every one of us
Everybody's gonna be wrong.
But
except for Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. They're never wrong.
The game is to try to be right way more than you're wrong. That's the game. But every one of us gonna miss it. So going back to the Rams, I'm gonna tell you right now, West Coast, and I'm gonna just be honest. My bar right now is low. What I want to see more than anything against the Rams is fight. I'm not even prioritizing a win. I'm prioritizing the Dallas Cowboys style of football, to where if we lose, you have to whoop our ass, bro.
And we got to score 30 points. 30 points. If it's not 30 points, it ain't Dallas Cowboy football.
I don't want the type of win that Chicago got where they won because they was more physical and we was soft. Because then we start talking about scheme and all this. No, we was soft, man. You know what I mean? Even Tank himself came out and said, "I just need to do better." See, that's what I want to hear, man. And he came out and was real about it. He said, "I need to do better." Because they play soft. And say, okay, so what I want to see versus the Rams is dogs. If you beat us, I want your nose bloody, and I want our nose and our ear bloody. We fought y'all, and y'all have to
take. There can't be no laydowns. There can't be no, and we need 30 points. And we need 30 points. You're in a controlled environment. You're in your stadium. There is no reason why we can't score 30 points. We should be able to throw the ball. Jalen Ramsey, I'm gonna tell you guys this. We can play week 1, week 2, week 3 Dallas Cowboy football in this game. Like, I'm not even tripping on trying to get Zeke. Like this, I want Zeke to get his 20 carries, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I really want. I want to see Dak throw that ball. You wanna know why? Because I'm thinking about the tournament now. And I know if we get in the tournament, you're gonna have to come to Dallas. That means it ain't gonna be no snow, ain't gonna be no rain. It's just gonna be Dak versus your DBs. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's like I want us, and I know it's just like, West Coast, what are you talking about? I don't get what you're saying. This is what I'm saying. The best Dallas Cowboy team I've seen this year has been with Dak throwing the ball. So yes, if the film says run it to beat them, let's run them to get up, and let's, obviously use that, but we're best at throwing the ball. So let's use the run to set up deep passes. And that's another thing that we gotta do in this game. When you run the ball effectively and your running back is getting 5.6 yards per carry, you have earned the right to throw the ball deep. Why? Because everybody's up to the line of scrimmage trying to stop the ball. You earn the right to air them boys out. You gotta take it in this game. Like, you're gonna have to take it. Like, there is no about, like, and I'm gonna tell you, Boss Cowboy always says this about the New England Patriots. And the New England Patriots are really, really good at coming out and scoring first. You know what I'm saying? And part of the reason why they say that is because that lets you know that when they watch film on your defense, they was right.
They're right.
Like, it's just about them sticking to that plan. So think about this. The Dallas Cowboys, we scouted this team we just lost to. The Bears, we actually scouted them pretty well. Them and Buffalo. Why? Because we came out and we were aggressive on it and we were able to get down. It's just about the Dallas Cowboys staying consistent. My biggest preach now, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man. I gotta apologize. Like, my energy is at an all-time low too, but I'm here. I'm right here, rocking. And my effect, and like it's crazy, boss, because like I can sit on here and tell y'all what the Cowboys need to do to win, like the actual things, like we really need to run the ball, we need to keep these wide receivers in front of us, we need to make sure we tackle, because these guys all have the ability to take it to the house. Every single wide receiver on their team has the ability from the 20 to take it to the house. Every single one of them. And I'm gonna tell you something else. This tight end is pretty nice too.
Yeah.
Like their tight end is, and they use him.
And see, I don't want to get into no scheme and stuff. We can scheme.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't want to talk scheme, because the biggest thing the Dallas Cowboys can do is we need to get back to being ourselves.
Yeah.
If we get back to being ourselves, we go back to looking at this game on our schedule and we're like, we're gonna beat this team. If in April, when you saw the schedule, you looked at this game, looked at the Rams, we're gonna beat them. Yep. Now everybody's like, oh, but we said about the Bears. Yeah, we did. But this is the thing about it. We need to get back to what we need to be, what we can do. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you can't get back to where you need to be in a controlled environment at home, man, I don't know what the hell, bro. But I believe they can do it.
I'm gonna say, man, it's gearing up for some changes to be made. Like, that's why your first thing you said on the show was about Jason Garrett and saying basically you have to play based on what we seeing on that field. So basically everybody back is up against the wall right now. This is also sometimes the genius of 1-year deals. People, when you know you ain't got no future, you stop having favorites. You know what I mean? It's my ass or yours, Woods. So now, when you was my pick, now when you was my favorites, now I'm gonna pick my sons and my kids over you. So it's some changes that's gearing up, and I'm liking the message that Jason Garrett said with that, because then you got to do something about it. Because if we don't get up, like Jaquez said, for a revenge game, these guys took us out the playoffs, bro. If you ain't motivated for this game.
And think about this, boss. Like, realistically, like, this is a team that thinks that they can still get in the playoffs. So.
Yeah. And they actually disrespected us. We scouted them great last time. One thing I want everybody to remember that they did to us, that their defense did to us. They defense said for a majority of the game that we're not even getting out of our base defense. That's disrespectful. They basically said we are not going to put a nickel back on the field. In other words, us if you want to. They was baiting us into a shootout and we got scared and kept running Zeke into brick walls. I pray to God they come at us like that again and say we gonna have 11 personnel versus a base defense, meaning you're gonna have a slot going against a linebacker. And they literally stayed in that base defense and dared us, bro. But if they come out there like, well, if we don't take that as disrespect and Dak and the receivers better put up 400 on them, bro, because that's so disrespectful. How you gonna come at Cooper, Cobb, and Gillett with a base defense, bro? You better not. If I'm Kellen Moore, I'm gonna be like, oh boy, how dare you? Like, we can't count on you.
And think about this, like, you gotta think of like this, like, Kellen Moore, this is a game, like, this should be a game, honestly, for Kellen Moore where he should have something to prove too, man, because you were there in that Rams game. So think about this. This is the one time Kellen Moore gets to show how much different and he is versus the last guy that was in there. Why? Because now you have the same competition coming in. And if I'm not mistaken, Scott Linehan was 0-2 against these Rams. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I mean, one thing about these Rams game is, man, it's going to be a close game. It always is. Even when we didn't, I mean, the one time it didn't is when half our team didn't play. You know, what is it, 2 Thanksgivings ago, I think it was? When Sean Lee didn't play, Tyron Smith didn't play, half the line didn't play. You know what I'm saying? Last year's game, that's a totally different game. Why? Because, man, they ran up the middle. Like, they just keep gutting it up the middle. I'm going to be honest with you. We're not that anemic in the middle like we were that game. Like, in that game, Antoine Woods literally tore his labrum on the 3rd play of the game.
Yeah, we're not weak like that.
Like, we're not weak like that. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to be different in the middle.
Yeah, we'll be different. We'll be way better in the middle. I mean, Bennett alone is better than what we had. Like, we had freaking – who did we have? We had
Yeah, Reed, bro, off the practice
51.
squad.
He ain't even on the team no more.
Yeah, Reed.
Was
Yeah.
literally 2 weeks on the practice squad. Had to start for us.
That's why they put 300 on the ground on us, bro. We not built that bad anymore in that
Okay, so
middle.
we're not nearly that anemic. So
Yeah,
I'm curious of what they would have done in that game had they wouldn't have been able to just run the ball like that.
They would have attacked us the same. I think we.
Because
I
they
think
couldn't
we
do nothing in that second quarter.
see this game.
Second half.
Offense. When we saw that game was intelligent coaching. When we gonna see this game is their real offense. What they did to us in the playoffs was adapted to the depth report. That's all they did. They said, "Oh, all them balls hurt in the middle. We running." That's all they did, and they beat us down with that. But now they go look at the scout report. They can't say that this one, so they gonna say we're about to go in there and beat you with Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Cook. And then if we get a lead, we gonna start feeding Gurley. That's what they do.
Yeah. And man, I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Like,
I want to say one more thing, West Coast.
Shoot.
If you got my boy Kerry said this, and he one of the realest Cowboy fans out there. So he said, "I'm riding, but I don't have no faith in this team. They have to show me something, prove me wrong." Like, and I feel you, bro. Like, and I want to speak to everybody that got that attitude. This team, for a lot of different reasons, have given us a lot of reasons to be pessimists. So that's why I honestly just gave a real, like let's ride with what West Coast said, which to me is the most intelligent thing. It's really about right now a goal of us trying to get back to who we are. So don't try to, I feel you, Kerry, we shouldn't go into this game trying to expect us to just hit a switch. What we really want to do is kind of see a 3-game ramp up, and at the end of that ramp up, we are our identity going into the playoffs. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we lowered the bar, because it's like what we want to see this game, win or lose, is fighting. Yep. I don't care if you lose. I want to see some dog. I want to see fight. I want to see energy. I want to see hits. I want to see, you know what I mean? Even if it's a couple of fights. Because likely, let's just be honest, we likely go win against Philly, and we likely go win. Bro, don't ever say we're that sorry to where without Jeffries and without the right tackle, you really think Philly gonna beat us, bro, when we healthy? Not you, kid. I'm just talking about in general. We're not that sorry. I'm just saying, no. We gonna beat Philly, and we gonna beat the Redskins. But what I want to see this game is character that's building us up to what West Coast said. By the time we show up and we probably face Seattle, I want us to have a feeling like we just came off two. You know what I mean? We was winded at the end, but we ourselves now. Y'all gonna have to kill us in our house. That's what I want. So, and I think
and that's good too. I mean, because you play the Seattle Seahawks, I'm gonna tell you that Rams versus Seahawks game is gonna be some good film to watch. It's gonna be some real good film to watch. But I'm gonna tell you guys this, man. Like, I love talking about. I don't want to talk. Like, when I look at the AFC, the team that I think is going to be there is the Baltimore Ravens, and the number one problem that we have is stopping running quarterbacks. So that's why I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to think about that. But I think we can do it though. But hey, we're gonna talk about this Jared Goff, man. The last thing I want to say is this, man. Jared Goff is not a running quarterback. But now I want to say this: Jared Goff is a running quarterback. All right. I know all the film says and stats says that he's not a running quarterback, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Against this Dallas Cowboy teams, the film says that if you run the ball as a running quarterback, you will beat this Dallas Cowboy team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's what the film. There's two ways. If I'm scouting on how to beat the Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to run the ball up the middle between my guard and my center, abusively, and then what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run my quarterback. And I'm going to make your corners cover. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to hope that you kick a bad special teams. So we can just have a trifecta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I wouldn't mind if Keith O'Quinn got fired this week. I wouldn't have minded that. He's special teams coach.
I'm glad you brought up special teams, and I'm glad you brought up golf, because one thing that they said, which is all good signs, y'all, they said they had a team meeting over special teams. Remember, West Coast and I said New England put a lot of starters on their special teams. So sometimes you got to give them dudes an extra couple of snaps to prevent those return yards that we've been getting on us. You know what I mean? And that means we're trying to solve the obvious problems before we try to get into this pause. That's one. Another good thing, I'm glad he brought up golf, because if you really look at the Rams look really good except for golf.
Yeah.
You know, so that, to me, that's what a breakdown would be. If the hot balls and if Tank really come out like he said he was, and like, man, I need to do my part, and all them balls come out and put their pressure on golf, we gonna roll golf.
Yeah, because you gotta think like this, man. Our defensive line on our offensive line is like, because I know everybody's thinking Aaron Donald. Yeah, I get it, but Aaron Donald still has to go against a pretty damn good offensive line. I would probably take, if you had to say who would you take, West Coast, their defensive line versus our offensive line, or our defensive line versus their offensive line? I'm gonna take my defensive line versus their offensive line, because our defensive line is stronger than their offensive line. So, you know, I definitely think, but the thing about this Jared Goff, one thing, there's not gonna be a whole lot of, if there are gonna be deep throws, I'm gonna be very, very nervous. You wanna know why? Because that's a chance that by the time I look down the field, the receiver's gonna be open, because they only really throw the ball deep when he's open. Like, when they're throwing the ball 30 yards, I'm sorry, I'm going to just already assume that the guy's wide open. Because that's the only time they throw the ball. Jared Goff does not throw contested footballs. Don't do it. He'll throw it to a tight end before he do that. Don't do it. Won't do it. You know what I'm saying? He's a dink. I mean, for all y'all to say he's a, that freaking, Dak is a dink and dunker. Like, he's a dink and diver. Tommy is a dink and diver too, but Jared wants to get the ball. It's like college football with him. His job is really to just get the ball in the hands of the playmakers as quickly as possible. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? So they run a lot of slants. They run a lot of stuff under 12, 15 yards. One thing about these guys, like I say, is, man, they're really good at breaking that first tackle and getting upfield fast. And then their wide receivers block downfield pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Like the Josh Reynolds kid, they like to use him, and that's another thing, man. They use their wide receivers a lot behind the line of scrimmage too. So it's like guys are gonna have to really keep their containment, make sure that they don't, Boss Cowboy always preaches flow. Like they're gonna have to make sure that if you're in that right flow, you know what I'm saying, that flake flow, it's flow you this way, and then that get Josh Reynolds coming back that way. Like they did that 3 times on 3 different occasions. You know what I'm saying? In this last game against Seattle. Just to get the defense. And I'm going to tell you what they would do. They would flow him, get Josh Reynolds going back this way, and you know what they do? Throw it the opposite way. You know
a lot of people said,
Go ahead.
A lot of people talked about Dak running. I saw about 20 comments on that. You want to talk about that real quick?
I mean, Dak running against this defense, I think it would be really good. I mean, Seattle did a really good job. Russell Wilson did a good job against moving the ball. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Dak being mobile is just him. It doesn't matter what team. Like, he's a better quarterback when he is moving. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. We just activated Mitch Hyatt. So there's an opportunity that Mitch Hyatt might actually play. Man, I don't want Dak sitting back there, man. I don't want Aaron Donald. Man, no. Like, that's something else we need to figure out, too. Like, if you see Aaron Donald sitting over Xavier Sulafule and you on a 5-year stop, 5-step drop, change the play, Dak.
Yeah, and Willie said,
I need you to start thinking about your own self now. Forget what they say. Change the play, Dak.
Yeah, Willie said something that's good. He said Dak clock is taking just a tad long to go off when we need short yardage. I absolutely agree with you on that.
Sure, he got that big old contract sitting in front of him. Like, wait, I can run $40 million. I can stay here.
Yeah, so it's obviously contracts, but I think that's going to start actually diminishing. Because I think the competitive side of Dak will kind of make him start saying, screw that money for a little while.
Yeah, when they get in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I think to get in the playoffs, I think, and that's just a good point. And I definitely think his clock is off. And I think his clock is off more so because the protection been so good, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's like, and I ain't even trying to come off like the biggest Dak homer, but I think Dak has already been, like, for Dak to say screw the money and play better, like, what is he going to play, like, freaking the best? I mean, the dude's already playing damn good. Like, I think he did that first week. Like, I think Dak's able to do that. Like,
yeah, and I don't really think it's as big of a deal, but yeah, it can
running the ball, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, that will always be a hindrance because I'm sorry, like, you're not going to challenge that's always going to be a hindrance.
I think I just want to see him run like what Willie said when it's just smart.
Or
When
you know what you can do? I don't want to see Dak doing too. I don't want to see Dak running on broken plays. Like, that's what every quarterback runs on a broken play. Tom Brady will run on a broken play. We want to see set, called, run plays. Like on that Trubinsky touchdown, like that was a set, called play. Some offensive coordinator looked like a genius for like 40 seconds.
And
I called that.
I'm also on the Willie train. I don't want Dak running the ball a lot. I don't. Not even close. I want Dak to just run it when it's like 3rd and 2. And then sometimes you'll get a pocket. Go get the first. You know what I mean? But see, it's going to be a damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when Dak does that, don't be that same fan base that's like, look at that throw he missed over there. If he would have just been a damn quarterback, he was open over there. Look, you can't prioritize getting that 3rd and short with his legs and then be worried about the reads he missed. So I'm going to tell you right now, for everybody that's saying that, I don't want to hear no crying if he does that about what he missed. Because a lot of times,
Dak is a better quarterback when he's moving. Like, I don't see how somebody could be crying about that. Like, he's a better quarterback moving the ball. Like,
I know that happens in the game, and a lot of people get stupid like that where they start saying, damn, he ran. If he would have just threw it, and then they start screenshotting. It's like, goddamn, it was 3rd and 2nd, and he chose to move the chains.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're saying, like, if he says, oh, he got – I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, if someone – because, but that's just – the only time they're going to say that is if he don't get the first down. I mean, if he don't get the first down, people are going to say, oh, look at it. You know what I'm saying? Look.
Even with first, they'll screenshot it. Look, he opened over there. The Dak was just a real quarterback.
I don't know. I think the fan base. I know we got some clowns still out there, but I think we didn't grew up a little bit past that. I think so many people want to. I think it's just. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just think him moving the ball is a part of his personality. Like, it's just like Zeke having fun. That's a part of his personality. Like, you're never going to. Think that, and then to be honest with you, our offensive line, even though they're not giving up sacks, is not predicated on him just sitting in the. We don't have the offensive line for that. You know what I'm saying? Because Xavier Sulafule, bruh, like there's a lot of bending out and Dak having to step up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in those times, I want to see him get out there and move the ball, but at the same time, it's like that is an asset, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, every defense has a problem stopping running quarterbacks. Look at Lamar Jackson. Like, how many defenses he played? They all seem like they have a problem stopping him. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. If you don't, to be honest with you, there's only a few teams that are really built to even stop running quarterbacks. And honestly, we should technically be one if we had a front four. You know what I'm saying? If our front four was holding down, because we have linebackers who can run and cover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
we actually have what it takes to do it, but we don't got the front four.
On this one, like, look, me and Steven is homies on this one. At least as much as possible, I do not want my quarterback running unless the C's part and you can go just quickly move the chains with your legs. Other than that, I want as least amount of design run plays as possible, because I see what these boys will do when they get a clean shot on your quarterback.
Yeah, but I know Dak got 21 rushing touchdowns, and I know he was rushing. He had 6 in his rookie year. So, like, how you be in the league only 4 years and have 21 rushing touchdowns, that lets me know that you're pretty damn good with your feet. I know this. And put it like this. Dak ain't got to run every time, but he need to run at least once when we in that damn red zone. Like, how does he lead the Dallas Cowboys history in rushing touchdowns, and we don't even do that when we get inside the red zone? You don't want to run? Okay, I'm not tripping. But you can at least run for a touchdown. That's going to benefit you and me.
And we've abandoned that. Abandoned that. You don't see Dak running in the red zone no more. That boy handing it off. Or he throwing. Dak is not running. You're right. Like, at least one shot. If we get in the red zone,
I would rather him try to run instead of even throwing it.
Yeah. Because Dak can
run. The easiest place to defend is the red zone. For a corner, the easiest place for me to defend is the red zone. Because you can't go deep.
I would compromise on that. If me and you was having this debate, I would compromise. I would say, yeah, I agree. One attempt in the red zone per game. No more.
Yeah, he has to absolutely. So that's what I've been saying, man. Like, it's all about the Dallas Cowboys, man. It's not necessarily about this magic trick of us trying to be a totally different team, because we don't need to be a totally different team. Like, we don't need to be a totally different team. We don't need to go out there and even try to be better. I'm going to tell you what we need to do. We need to go out there and be the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? We're a 30-point team. Like, we haven't been ourselves since, like, we haven't been ourselves in, like, week 4, week 5, week 3. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we figured out to win 1 or 2 throughout that rest, but we need to get back to Dallas Cowboy football. You know what I'm saying? And this is an opportunity to get back to Dallas Cowboy football. I definitely think the Rams are going to present a challenge, because they do got some players that are out there playing nice within themselves, but like Jalen Ramsey, if you get him one-on-one with your wide receiver downfield, yeah, he's pretty damn good at what he does. But as a unit, their unit is not feeling the effect of Jalen Ramsey, because people are still throwing at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it real with you. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I actually think Marcus Peters was actually playing better in their defense than Jalen Ramsey was. Because at least freaking Marcus Peters was getting his hands on the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see how people don't value that. That's just weird to me. You know what I'm saying? So,
They wasted 2 first.
Yeah, like, I would have been fine with Marcus Peters. Man, you got Aaron Donald. I'm going to tell you this right now, bro. If I had Aaron Donald, I would not be paying no corner no $10, $15 million. I'm just not doing it. I'll pay him more. You feel me, boss? Like, I'm just not doing it. I believe if I got Aaron Donald, West Coast and Boss can suit up, and y'all should be able to cover somebody, because he gonna do his job.
Yeah,
or you know what I would do? I would go find another dude to put right beside Aaron Donald. I don't know why teams don't like doing that. Like the Spurs, they had it right. Tim Duncan. I mean, they had the Admiral went to Tim Duncan. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to have stop having lapses in your insurance. The Dallas Cowboys be having lapse in your insurance. You get a penalty for that. You know what I'm saying? You must go from one to another.
And that's what Steven actually avoids. Like, because the Texans started that stupid stuff of 2 first rounds for Tunsil. So then you got these guys that they gave 2 first rounds for Tunsil?
So
really?
Now there's a price for somebody.
Yeah, so that's why when Adams we was looking at Adams, they was talking crazy to us. 2 first for Adams. That's because of the Texans. They set that dumb precedent. And then you saw, the Rams follow with 2 first for Rams. It's like, bro, if you the Dallas Cowboys, it's nobody worth 2 first. Tom Brady in his prime ain't worth 2 first. With how we draft in the first, no, absolutely not. I might have been exaggerating on Tom Brady, but you know what I mean. You got to be like go. You got to be Deion part 2 for 2 first.
Yeah, because that's a lot of years you're giving up. But hey, man, shout out to Weaver. I see you, Sonny. Yo, man, Dallas Cowboys. More importantly, man, what's today? Tuesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday. Thursday, man, you already know what it is. I'll be getting on an airplane coming out there to Dallas. Saturday, I will be with Jalen Smith at the Omni Hotel, man. So make sure you guys come out. Brought to you by Cowboys Packages. We're going to be doing autographs. We're going to be doing an interview. So make sure you guys come out. I appreciate everybody for rocking with your boy, man. And, hey, let's have a good game week, man. Like, I'm 100% with you, Boss Cowboy, man. I just want to see these guys fight, and I want to see 30 points. Give me 30 points, because I'm going to tell you right now, we fight, we give me 30 points, we're going to win this game, man. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm burnt out. I can't do the special teams got to kick the ball to the left. We got to make sure we give them the air. Hey, man, 2-3 weeks ago, y'all had me, man. I was all in it, but I can't do it today. Dallas Cowboys, just be yourself, man. If people don't like who you are, F them. You know what I'm saying? But we got to be who we are. Before this season ends, I got to see the 2019 Dallas Cowboys, because we ain't seen them. We seen them 3 weeks. We seen them week 3. You know what I'm saying? If this was a boxing match, I would tell my fighter, like, bro, you don't need to find no new moves. You don't need to go to no special guru. You don't need to learn no special kick. You just need to go back to whooping people's butts like you always did. Like, that's what you did. I used to love Kimbo Slice. You want to know why? Because Kimbo didn't change his style. Nah. Beat on me enough to make me change my style. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys, let's get back to us. We get back to us, man, we going to be all right, man. We're going to be all right. Y'all, Boss Cowboys, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, real quick, man. Just real quick, one quick story, man. My son, he whipped his boy every day in karate when they sparred. And then one day my son went in there and he was kicking soft, and this dude beat my son up so bad. Was taking that grit off, the kid told me, he said, "I finally made your son cry." So I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, you did." And I said, "Dallas, the way you go," because his name is Dallas, my firstborn. I said, "Dallas, to West Coast Point, you don't got to change nothing. All you got to do is kick him hard this time. Don't kick."
Like you always do. Like you always
You
do.
thought he was your friend and you was being soft and he was running through your kicks and he was hitting you. I said, this time, kick him like you kick the bag. Obviously, boom. To West Coast Point. We not preaching, we gotta beat the Rams. We preaching
special trick plays. No, we don't need to do none of that.
No, we just don't want to see 6.5 missed tackles from you, Woods. We don't want to see y'all missing tackles and loafing and all that crap we saw in Buffalo and Chicago. We just want to see y'all go out like my son.
Boss Cowboy, if you told your coach that your free safety missed 7 tackles, what do you think he would say the score was?
Blowout.
I was thinking of what would Coach Dixon say right now? First off, Coach Dixon would say, how did he get to 7? How did he get to 7 missed tackles? Like what?
Yeah. That's on the third level too much.
Why? See, that was flipped. That was some coaching stuff that went over your head. My coach would have been like, how did he even get to 7?
Yeah, he was at the third level way too much.
No, he would have been like, because somebody should have yanked him at 3.
Yeah, that too.
My coach wouldn't even have let a player do that to himself, because sometimes you can let a player mess themselves up so bad that it's hard for them to come back, especially when you're playing on national TV.
Yeah.
I think Anthony Brown, that's what I think he has a little bit of.
Man, that's a fact, but you know what actually helped Jarwin more than anything? What helped Jarwin more than anything, if we all think back to 2018, Jarwin was playing scared and was sorry. What changed? They made Schultz active, dished him, and when he came back, he was hustling. He was fighting for his job. Yeah. Sometimes the best thing you can do for some cats is put them on that old pond, bro.
Especially sometimes they spelling they ooey-ooeys.
And see, Woods been entitled. And you know who entitled him? We did. The fan. We gave
There's
him.
no way at this point of his career that I don't know, man. I'm gonna just leave it alone. I just know Josh Jones, the kid from Green Bay, he ain't even seen the field.
We had all these old rosy projections on him without him earning it. Like Ms. Weebon, we don't like your son because we trying to kiss up to you. I mean, your brother. We like your brother because your brother ball. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if your brother wasn't a baller, you would already checked out this show because we'd have been saying it. You see what I'm saying? No, your brother ball. So when we go look at Woods, we being honest. And boy been missing tackles. He been missing tackles. So at some point, you got to play the best man. And I want y'all to go share that video that West Coast just put out there, because he put out a real good video. And that type of stuff don't get traction if we don't share it. It ain't enough for West Coast to share it. As a matter of fact, he don't share most of his videos. That means we got to go on there.
Yeah, they'll block me on Facebook for that. It's weird, man. It's weird.
We got to go on there and we got to lobby for somebody else to play that safety. Because whoever out there, or if Woods come back, Woods better not ever have something like that happen again. Because then that means we entitled him. Because we basically said,
man, Woods is not to the point where he's already living on grace, bro. Like I was talking about, like think about this, like the only you've tried to replace Woods with Jamal Adams, you try to replace him with, like, I don't care if you try to replace him with Earl Thomas. So the fact that you're trying to update, and I say, oh yeah, these are better players, but the fact that you're not trying to replace nobody else with other players, so you know that you need better. So basically what you're saying is you can only have the all-pro or Woods? Like, what?
Exactly. Say that one more time. Say that again, bro.
Like, there's a big gap between there. There's a lot of guys in between Woods and Earl Thomas who will give you an upgrade.
Adams in Woods. It's like, come on, bro. We can meet in the middle on this, bro. We could have got Malik Hooker. That's another conversation, man. You can find me at Boss Cowboy Sports.
Yeah, and now you already know where y'all can find me, man, on these goddamn Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and YouTube. Hey, man, this weekend, this Saturday, I'll be in Dallas. Man. It's gonna be actually my last regular season game into the playoffs, man. It's gonna be my last regular season game, man. So, man, we gotta go out with the bang. My last, and I don't even like saying it like that, man. But yeah, it's my last regular season game, man, into the playoffs. And I will be back in Dallas for the playoffs. But yo, this Saturday, man, make sure you guys come out, support your boy, man. I'll be out there with Jalen Smith, number 54. We're gonna have ourselves a great time. Tickets are $75, but if you use my code, you get $25 off, man. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So what she says is, yeah, but he wasn't supposed to go in seventh ways, too good and better.
I agree. Well, West Coast and I had on your brother a third or fourth round grade at the worst. Yeah, he went way. We got a steal with Weber, and it didn't make sense to me why he wasn't even active last game.
Well, I mean, this is the one thing I'll say about Weber, right? Whenever a team whose identity is to run the ball drafts you, that says something about you. And that they kept you, that says something about you. Because the strength of our team is running the ball. So it's like, we're not going to draft anyone that we don't feel can do that. Because the identity of us is running the ball. So that within itself says something about how the Dallas Cowboys view him. We just don't understand why the hell he's not playing. That's all that is. I mean, yeah.
I do want to talk about that for 1 second because that don't make no sense, bro.
Last week he should have definitely played, bro. Like freaking Tony Pollard didn't even play. Like there's no reason he should have played.
Bro. So that means your fullback with Zeke and go check out the game because he always does.
And I would rather Dak throw that ball to Weber than freaking Jamiz Alawale. My thing is this: just give Mike Weber all of Jamiz Alawale play because he's not blocking. They gave the ball to Pollard and had Zeke the lead blocker. Don't tell me he's blocking.
Yeah,
Zeke was the lead blocker on a run for Tony Pollard. Zeke Ezekiel Elliott, $90 million was blocking for another running back. $90 million. Think of that.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
We went into the game, like BJ said, with one active running back. We didn't want to just jump off the tangent, but damn.
Yeah, that's crazy. And your identity is to run the ball. And you got a guy that looks exactly like Ezekiel Elliott.
Like Zeke. Like literally before, and we're not kissing. Trust me, Miss Weaver, we're not kissing up to your brother.
You ain't gotta stop giving. She already know that. Stop giving. You ain't gotta.
Check this out. We've been saying this before we even knew him. You go to West Coast site and you go to my site, we was calling him Zeke Light.
Hey man, just go watch the goddamn 49er preseason game.
Yeah. And so it's like it made no sense. It didn't make no sense scheme wise, logic wise, with his skill, not making a running back active, like you said, West Coast. One running back active on a team with a major
run first team. So what had happened if Zeke gets hurt? If Zeke would have pulled up, who would have been your running back? Jamiz Alawale would have been your running back.
I think even think about 2016. In 2016, we had 4 on the active roster. We had Zeke.
Zeke is improving. Steven, I'm sorry. You have no clue what you're talking about. I apologize. I'm going to say nonsense. I got to
We had Zeke, McFadden.
Zeke is improving.
Dunbar. We had one more. Oh, Morris. We had 4. And you went into this game with 1.
So that means, you know what that also means? When was Zeke going to take a break?
And see that sometimes look like that old Dallas Cowboy favorites, that old Mortimer.
When was Zeke going to take a break? I'm gonna tell you something else. Somebody just said, man, you guys should have spent the whole show talking about the defense. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you fix your offense, man, the defense don't matter. I'm gonna tell you why. Because how good is the Ravens defense? Who knows? I mean, it makes you better when you are. But I'm gonna tell you, if your offense is clicking, it'll cover all sins. The Bible says that it's the scripture was just in my head. It's love. That's what it is. Love covers a multitude of sins. Basically meaning when someone does you wrong, if you love them, you can be like, all right, I'm going to let you make it. I'm going to tell you this. Good offense covers a multitude of sins. Points covers a multitude of sins. Covers a multitude of sins. Hey, we've been on this mud for 2 hours. I hear my baby in there crying like a mud. I hear my other son telling him to calm down. And I hear my oldest daughter telling him, what the hell happened?
Get on that defense,
so you know what
man.
that means? I'm going to wait 15 minutes before I go in the house. That's what that means. Because they going to figure it out. This is not time for daddy to interject. And I'm going to tell you something. Dallas Cowboys, go back to being yourself. We're going to be all right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, amen. Shoot. Can I?
My old breakdown video, somebody said, West Coast, are you going to do a breakdown video? I'm like, yeah, it's going to be very short. Dallas Cowboys going back. Go back to being how it's supposed to, how you, go back to that mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think we'll be okay.
We'll be okay.
All right, y'all already know what it is, man. Never look down because the star's up. Peace!